So my new pipe arrived. So just making a start, first of all, getting the feed. This is a cold water feed that's going in underneath the toilet. Going to connect those two together because somewhere, oh yes, there they go. See if I can get these. I've got a whole new set of connectors. Some straights, some T's, and some right angle bends. And the reason for that is that not only do I need to feed this with cold water for the flush, but also we've got to take it. This is opening the door. We've got to take it up there in order to feed the hot and the cold to the shower. Just waiting for the new shower tap to arrive, but that's going to be mounted obviously up that way somewhere. So I do need to run these pipes, the hot and cold, up there in order to feed that. So yeah, they're going to be fitted on this back wall, and I've got angles and T's and everything else for that. And then this horrible stuff is all going to get removed. I think I can salvage the Jubilee clips because they all look to be stainless steel, so give those a good clean. But the pipes themselves just need to be replaced. So I've got 5 meters of the reinforced pipe. I think that's going to be sufficient for what we need. So we'll crack on, get some of that changed over, and I'll see you shortly. So, going to make a start on the solar panel layout today. I've got some connectors, I've got some cable, I've got 4 panels going up onto the roof, and some Sikaflex to stick it up. And as I said the other day, we've got a slight challenge here because you can see how much distance there is from here to here, and the cables are going to come out at the front in order to get down to the battery box, but they do need to be kept out of getting trapped underneath this this rubber seal, which basically gives it all its waterproofing to stop any water from coming in. The seal's down on the bottom there, if you can see that. Yeah. So yes, so we need to give it enough excess to be able to jump that distance, but also keep it under tension when the roof comes down, so that it doesn't get trapped and then impact the water resistance of that rubber seal. So yeah, we'll get this laid out, measured up, and we'll see what it starts to look like. Okay, so this gives you some idea how this is going to get laid out. There's 2 at the back. We're going to come across here. Wish it wasn't quite so windy. Oh well, always managed to do it. But it's only the foam on the top. It's keeping the sun off them to make sure we don't get too high a voltage building up. 2 in pip series, 2 in parallel. Is how they're going to be wired up. So I just need to get them stuck down, and then we can start doing all the connections. So yeah, that's the next job. So just getting all the bits together. So we have the DC charger and also the solar panel connection. So that's going to control the charging from the alternator and from the solar panels. We've got some good quality 6mm square cable for the solar panels. I've got some 12-volt wiring there. I've got some inline fuses because we're going to need those. I've got a 50-amp circuit breaker, and then I've got a couple of connectors that are going to be fixed to the front of the lifting roof, which are going to take the connections to the solar panels, and then those 2 are going to come off then on the flying cables that are then going to come down into the roof. I've got a bag of connectors for the solar panel because I need to make some leads up, and then I've got a couple of connectors here. I'm not sure if we're going to use those or not, but I think one of them will get used, and then we'll take it on from there. So yeah, we're just about ready to make a start wiring it all up. So as I explained, we're going to build a box underneath that window, which is going to be a seat, but it's also going to be where the battery is going to live. And I've had a little bit of a problem with the battery. Well, let's explain this. So I ordered a lithium iron phosphate battery from AliExpress, which arrived, and it claimed to be 300 amp hours. Well, by calculating the weight of it, which was 8.5 kilos, it's fake. It's only a 100 amp hour battery. So that's now gone back. I'm just waiting for the refund. And now I'm in two minds whether to buy a self-contained battery or there's a company in the Netherlands called Encon who produce prismatic cells, and I can buy 4 of their prismatic cells relatively cheaply. They're about 40 euros each for A grade, and they are 315 amp hour each. So that would give me the 12 volt 315 amp hour, but I would need to source a BMS for them to keep the cells balanced, and those run about 20 euros for a cheap one, and you can go up to, well, silly money if you really want to. But I think that's the way I might go, but still thinking about it at the moment. But I've got a couple of batteries I can use in the meantime whilst I set everything up, but definitely want to go the lithium route. It's much lighter weight, much higher capacity, and if we want to be off-grid, which being in France gives us the opportunity to do that, because the French rules and laws are that in a motorhome you can park up pretty much anywhere you want as long as it's not blocking anybody, and you can stay for one night without problem, completely free of charge. If you want to stay longer, then you need to find a campground. But just for overnight stops in France, it's all free, and there are various what they call airs, which are parking spots for motorhomes, not caravans, not allowed, but for motorhomes you can stay in one of the airs for free, and a lot of them have electricity, most of them have water, and most of them have disposal facilities for your chemical toilet and your grey water. So yeah, so motorhoming in France is definitely a new experience compared to what we had in the UK and in the US. No more $85 a night parking. This is all free. So yeah, we need to be off-grid as much as we can be, just to have that facility. And yeah, 300 amp hours should keep us going quite a long time. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I shall update you when I've got more information about what we're going to be putting in there. But for the time being, it's all solar panels. So the panels are down. I've got 4 of them on there. Might have been able to squeeze another 1 or 2 in there, but that's fine. There's 400 watt panels that probably produce about 70 or 80 watts each. So we're looking at about nearly 300 watts probably of usable power. Plenty for what we need. So they're all stuck down with beads of Sikaflex, and I'm just contemplating now whether the edges should be sealed. I'm not really sure, because I'd like a bit of airflow if there is any. I don't know how much there's going to be underneath that, because the bead of silicon is only about 4 or 5 millimeters thick, and as it squashes down it's going to be even less. I'm just a bit concerned about water seeping underneath them and sitting there, but I'll do a bit of research to see whether or not we should seal the edges or not. But at the moment they're stuck down, just waiting for it to cure off, and then we can sort out the wiring. Now, I've ordered some white cable tie, for want of a better word, platforms that are going to handle all of the wires, and I've got the kit there to be able to shorten and lengthen them and run extensions as needed. So anyway, at the moment just waiting for it all to dry off, and then we'll connect them up, 2 parallel, 2 in series, and then run the wires down the middle of the roof there so they can't be seen. But hopefully that'll do it.